Good morning, believers. Good morning, Israel. It's your brother, J.D. back with another word of truth with J.D. Pulling in the state park. It's 7:23. It's supposed to start raining tomorrow, so there's quite a few people coming in thinking they're gonna surf. Maybe they will. This person had to do everything backwards. Good work, ass bite. He pulled out from, it's funny, it's a small world. He pulled out from the 7-Eleven over there. Oh, good morning, good morning. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the message yesterday. I got a kick out of that message. It was, what was it? John. The book of John. Never ceases to amaze me, that book. He has a lot of the most profound statements of Jesus. So I just opened the book right now. I wanted to go back and finish up the book of Acts, even though it's not, to me, it's not the most poignant book right now. The Lord told me to do it, so I don't want to ignore him. So what I opened to right now is the works of the flesh and the fruit of the Spirit. So we've been talking a lot about that, right? What are the works? What are we doing? What are we working at? Some of us, I think about the world a lot still, because it's so close behind. It was just there. A few years ago, I wanted to get married, and again, I was thinking about doing the wife thing. And anyhow, let me pray first. Heavenly Father, bless my brothers and sisters who are here listening and abroad. Bless the people in church that are seeking you. Lead the Israelites that are confused. Lead them back to you if it be your will. Lead them back to restoration and understanding of who you are through your Son, Jesus Christ, who is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the King of the Jews. We know salvation comes through him because the Holy Spirit witnesses to our spirit that is true. Give us peace, give us grace. We honor you, we praise you, we bow before you. Amen. So the world, we can't escape from it. That's what this devil knows. This Satan or whatever the spirit of judgment, the spirit of justice and judgment. It doesn't have to necessarily be evil, people. Why the reason the spirit of judgment and justice feels evil. Sorry. The reason this spirit of judgment and justice feels evil is because we're in the flesh. We want to say what's up. We want to be the one that decides, oh, you did wrong. And deny when we do wrong ourselves. Oh, I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't my fault. So this spirit of judgment and justice the Lord has ways of turning each of us or he tries to turn each of us, and that turning mechanism, that crank, that's this spirit of judgment and justice. And so each of us has our own spirit, and he knows who we are, top to bottom, front to back. He knows us. He knows every hair on our head. He knows what we're going to do. He knows whether we're going to respond to this judgment and justice, this poking. Satan's there to poke at you and get you to think, get you to meditate, get you to suffer a little bit. And when you suffer like Christ, you wonder what I did. What did I do to deserve to get crucified? Sometimes you didn't do nothing. Just like Job. Job didn't do anything. Job was just living his life. And the Lord told judgment and justice, you can go poke at him, just don't kill him. So that's a good example of, it's not necessarily that you're doing anything wrong. Just know that the Lord is testing you. And we went through that. We go through this all the time in the Bible. We're being refined. And so I'm in this place now. All I can do is try and explain it from my perspective. There's a lot of these people out here in YouTube land that are trying to tell you who you are and what you should do, and making it all about you. It's good. It is all about you. But I'm not the one to tell you about you. I'm not the one. You and God need to figure out what to do about you. You understand? That's why this channel doesn't, I don't know if it's because they're blocking me, if YouTube's not what they say it is. It seems to be some kind of game. You would think there would be at least a few people that would want to listen to someone who's really studied the Bible and studied the world at the same time. I've looked at I've looked at life from both sides now, and I sing. Maybe that's why no one's here. But back to this judgment and justice. For me, I'm coming to this place now where it's like, I can still want what I want, but I'm happy if God doesn't give it to me. This last issue between me and Snow and me and my ex Melanie, this weird triangle that got formed of trying to figure out who do I want and who wants me, and why do they want me and why don't they want me. Sometimes people want you just because you want them bad enough, and they see that as an opportunity, and they take advantage of that instead of actually being honest and going, I know you want me, but I don't want you, or I know you want me, but I'm not sure that I want you, or you know what I mean? Just being honest with the person. So I'm at this place now where it's like, it's not that I don't care, but the Lord's telling me it's time to grow up, Jeffrey. 62 years old and I'm just growing up. I have a feeling now that if I people know me and I know them because we're here every day. This lady picks up every day cans and stuff. It feels good to be not lie to myself, is what I'm trying to say. When you're in the world, when you're the works of the flesh, make you lie to yourself. Oh, it's all right if I do this. It's all right if I do that. And it is. It's all right, because that's how you learn. And so I'm at this really strange place where all this work we've been doing and I've been doing for me and for you, it's starting to pay off, and I'm starting to feel like I don't need alcohol anymore to have fun. I don't want that fake fun. And so it's going to be clear-eyed. It's going to be clear-hearted. Whatever comes next is going to be a lot more real, because I'm thinking I'm not able to hide from the truth. The truth is going to be something that I seek in every relationship and every interaction. So, man, this Galations, this part of the book right here, the text is this much at the top of the book, and the explanations are this much at the bottom. It's huge. Maybe we should just go, because it starts off Galatians 5:16, the works of the flesh. It starts off with, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So you see what I'm saying? I didn't read this. I just saw the works of the flesh, and I'm trying to suss out, before I get into it, what I know about the works of the flesh and the difference between that and the works of the Spirit. I wanted to go into this real quick because this has been on my mind. I think I've mentioned it before. This love that I had for this bartender woman friend of mine, Snow. Beautiful body, beautiful face, beautiful, like a Barbie doll. But I didn't want her in a sexual way. I wanted her in a spiritual way. And I still do. I don't want, I've learned my lesson about the sexual stuff. That's only usually a jumping off point so you can get to the spiritual stuff. But I never even fantasized about her. If you know what I'm saying. I'm going to try and be a little more couth. I never even fantasized about her, and we've known each other almost a year now. and I still have it. And so I'm realizing that what I wanted to give her was good. I wanted to really be a friend. I wanted to really be an honest man of God. I wanted to pray for her and give her. She's missing a lot of stuff, but she doesn't realize it. She's a little younger, and I blew it because I messed up and I didn't stay in that state. I started thinking in the flesh, in some ways, and so the coveting of her, even though it was spiritually minded, it was still wrong. I was still working in evil. I was coveting. I was wanting something that wasn't mine. So it says, walk in the Spirit. It says in the bottom, live by the Spirit. And so I'm starting to take my own advice. I'm starting to really take these things to heart. Instead of just saying them and trying to explain them in a intellectual style, I'm actually changing. Christians are to live with the Spirit's help. How does one live by the Spirit? This is where we all struggle. This is what I was talking about. The difference between walking in the Spirit and walking in the flesh. The Christian must believe that the Spirit is with him and in him, having been sent by God into his heart. In every spiritual confrontation, the believer must yield to the Spirit. That is, submit his own desires to those of the Spirit. That's what I was saying, right? I have to put the desire to have a wife, to have a relationship with a woman that is fulfilling for me and fulfilling for her. Someone I can pour into is what I'm actually looking for. But the chances of finding that, I've found out through this channel that there's not a lot of people that want to be poured into. They want to run their own lives. They don't want to think about what it means to be spiritual, what it means to turn away from the flesh once in a while and go, what is it about me and God that I need to protect? And so I'm starting to understand that the relationship I have with God needs to be protected. And letting these people are secondary. If you know what I mean, they're secondary to that. They're only there to help remind you. They are judgment and justice. They're the ones that are poking at you. That boss, that parent, that child. They're serving you judgment and justice so that you can understand, where do I need to walk more in the Spirit? Where do I need to let go? Where am I holding on too tightly? What am I longing for that I shouldn't be? You understand what I'm saying? This is really big right now for me. I'm giving up alcohol. I'm giving up womanizing. I'm giving up the thought of actually looking in a woman's eye and saying, I'll be with you till the end. I love you. That's a hard one for me. Yeah, that's a real hard one for me. In every confrontation, the believer must yield to the Spirit. That is, submit his own desires to those of the Spirit. 3, one must depend on the Spirit for help, enabling him to live a God-pleasing life. That's what I'm doing right now. I have nothing other than a couple friends and my family and the Spirit. Sorry, I'm getting teary-eyed. This stuff is pretty deep for me. The believer should anticipate the effects of the Spirit's help in his daily life. So what am I anticipating? I'm anticipating that he's going to help me stay on a healthy path. We want the same thing. My will is matching his will. That's part of it too. It probably says something about that too, I would imagine. The believer who lives in the Spirit will not fulfill or carry out the strong desires of the sinful nature. The flesh seeks to thwart the Spirit, which in turn attempts to frustrate the flesh's evil desires. So what happened with Melanie, my ex, my narcissist? Beat up little girl, just sad. She's made it through life by manipulating, by just struggling in the flesh and creating scenarios and faking it to make it. Snow, the same thing. Very, very, I'm attracted to these very hurt women, but they've let the flesh, and I was thinking about that on the way here. What is it about her that she won't let anyone get close to her? And you know, she actually let me get pretty close to her. And I poked her a little too hard and she ran. So I was thinking, what is it about these people? They're not childlike. They're childish because they're stuck in that flesh mind. They're stuck in that, I got to have this presentation. I have to always look a certain way. They're not willing to be the jerk they are. See, that's one of the things the Lord loves about me. He's like, you have no problem being a real jerk. And I'm getting to that point now where I gotta be the asshole I am only. I use that as a defense mechanism. I'll just be an asshole, and that'll stir the pot enough to keep the Spirit working with me. So I used offensive tactics instead of defensive tactics. So I was what you would call a aggressive narcissist. My ego would lash out because I'm not good at faking it. And so the best faking I could do was be an asshole. And so you still see that in me. You see the anger and you see the childishness of my spirit come out when I'm dealing with some of the stuff that bothers me. So that's that on works of the flesh. Let's not get too into that right now. I just wanted to hit on that because the Lord opened me up to it. Let's go back to Acts. We'll finish up Acts because the Lord's been kind of bugging me on that. Get done. So I think Paul appears before Agrippa. Paul describes his conversion. We all know how that went, right? Where Jesus asks him, "Why do you persecute me?" It says, "But rise, get up, Benjamin." He's talking to Paul. Let me see what I got. I'll be back. We'll go into Acts. So let me finish that last video on with some kind of profound explanation of the Spirit and the flesh. Walking in the Spirit. Walking in the Spirit is being willing to accept the judgment and justice that the Lord is laying on your life. Satan is just judgment and justice. Don't overthink it, man. Oh my God, it's Satan. He's after me. No. He's the part of you that's trying to get better. He's the part of you that's trying to rise. He's trying to help you, not hurt you. All right, JD Naja, walk in the Spirit. I'm out.